Hello, I am Super Dungeon Boy, and I am just waking up. And this is a movie review. So, what movie, you may ask? Well, I went and did it. I went to go see the Lego Movie. It's already been out for a while. I think by now you can rent it. I don't even think it's in theaters anymore. I don't think it is. I'm not too sure, but I don't think it's in theaters no more. And when I say I went to go see it, I went to go get the movie and so forth. So, trying to remember what my earlier thoughts of this movie was before I seen it. I think I said to myself that this movie is going to be a little too kiddish, and being an adult, there's no way that I'm going to find enjoyment in this movie. I mean, I played with Legos when I was younger, but I think I stopped playing with Legos when I was, I don't know, 9 years old or something. 10, maybe. I guess. But, now that I see what what you can do with Legos, and the fact that you get a different kind of a movie. I mean, I'm no stranger to watch animation, and like that old saying, I don't want to grow up, I want to be a Toys R Us kid. So there's my maturity level, if you will. I don't know, I just remember being on the offense the first time that I looked at this movie, like just the trailer, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not too sure. Oh, I just thought about who was in that movie, the voice actors. There was Will Ferrell, which played the bad guy. What was his name? The bad guy they portrayed him as. President Business or something like that? I think that's what it was. They had to have a real funny name. President Business. And Morgan Freeman played something like a... what would he be considered? A wise man of some sort. I think one person I heard somewhere said that he's plays a Lego version of God or something. And that's not true. God has more powers. Morgan Freeman, he basically is the one that tells the tale of the prophet. And by the way, he has an actual little Lego figure in the movie, so he actually has, he's doing stuff in there. And so he's part of the story, just not a narrator if you're curious. But he does a little bit of both, so. Then again, it's Morgan Freeman. Why would you not want a little bit of narration from Morgan Freeman? So, your hero is a little construction guy named Emmett, and he's the only little Lego dude in his world that can't do anything. He can't build nothing. He can't construct nothing. He can't do anything. However, the one thing he can do, if he's reading the instructions, he can build you anything. So as long as he has instructions, the little Lego instructions, he can build anything. And really generic things like the typical truck, or the typical skyscraper, or the typical delivery truck, or whatever have you, or a boat, or something. But he has to have the instructions, otherwise he can't do it. Now, he is introduced to a girl eventually in the story, which I'm trying to remember her name. I'm trying to think. What's so funny is in the movie they give the girl like 4 or 5 names, and they keep switching her name because she never wants to give her real name. So I'm trying to remember what her real name is. The very end of the movie, I'm trying to think what they called her. It starts with an L, I think. Lacey or Lucy? It's Lucy or Lacey, something like that. I'm gonna go on a limb and say Lucy. If I'm wrong, then fill in the comment below. So that's really not that important, to be honest. I'm a guy. I could forget names. It happens. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about. We're forgetful. Admit it. Anyways, so nonetheless, that your hero Emmett is basically doing his 9 to 5 typical generic little day of life. He does the same thing every single day, watches the same TV show every single day. Everything in his little world, his realm, because apparently there's multiple realms of the Lego universe, so you got to keep that in mind. So he lives in the boring, generic, Big Brother's always watching you over your shoulder. There's tons of video cameras. And if you think about it in a real kind of weird way, I mean, if you're a kid, you would have no idea of this. But if you're an adult and you have some forethought, you're like, wow, he lives in a generic form of America. There's always, you're like in America, you're always being watched. Think about it. I'm not trying to spark up conspiracy theories or nothing, but they're watching you. You just don't know it. So he lives in this pretty much tightly controlled, no room for freedom, no room for individuality, no room for creativity of any kind. Everybody goes to their job every single day, watches all the same TV shows, listens to the same song, and that's a funny thing. They have this song in the movie. It's the most generic dubstep / techno, whatever you want to say, song, and it has a little auto-tune thing to it. And the little lyrics go, "Everything is awesome, everything is awesome," like that. And it just keeps looping itself. And it's catchy, it's annoying, but it's catchy as hell. And so everyone listens to that same song every single day while they're working. So they listen to this dubstep song, and it's really catchy. The minute you hear it, like, type that in, like, YouTube or whatever. Type in, what do you call it? The Lego soundtrack or something. Everything is awesome. Just type in that. Everything is awesome. Lego movie / whatever. And you'll find it. I guarantee you'll find it. And, oh man, once you hear that, it's so funny. And, by the way, there's a remix version, and then there's the original version of Virgin. That should edited that out, but I'm gonna leave it in. That was funny. Original version. And I've heard the original one, but the remix one is the one I would recommend, only because it's just funny. It loops, and it's just really catchy, and it gets in your brain, and you can't let it go. I swear, like, after I saw that movie and I heard that one song, I kept humming the song the whole time, going to the bathroom, taking a shower, doing reps. It just, oh my god, just you don't know until you know. So go do what you do and look it up. That's why they invented YouTube. God, if you can't find the video on YouTube, well, I can't say it don't exist, but it should be on YouTube. There you go. A little shout out to YouTube. There you go. So anyways, let's talk about the movie now. So, Emmett meets a girl. Pretty typical of most animations and whatnot. And, boy meets girl. May have to save the girl or save the world. One or the other. Or something like that. The story, to a sense, just like if you strip away all the, zaniness and funniness and all that, and have a pretty basic plot line, that's what it is. It's a very generic story on that sense, so sorry. But when you watch this movie, you're not really caring about the main storyline. It's not that important, because you're watching something that's created by I want to say, what was the company that helped create it or did create it? I'm not sure. Warner Brothers, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure it was Warner Brothers. And it feels like a Looney Tunes / Lego thing going on. Everything is very Looney Tune-ish. Well, you've seen a Looney Tune cartoon before, like Bugs Bunny and all that, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So just think in that sense, that zaniness, that there's really no story. It's like, excuse me, has about as much structure as like the movie Space Jam. It's just, you're watching it for pure visuals and entertainment and laughs and whatnot and so forth. So now that we got the story out of the way, and another thing, unlike other reviewers, I hate telling all the bits and pieces of the movie, because I try to keep things as much spoil free as possible, because if I just blurted out every single thing and this is going to happen and that's going to happen and he said and she said, would you watch it after that? I mean, seriously, like, comment below. Would you, if I spoiled everything for the movie for you, would you still go watch it? Because every reviewer I've ever seen, like, when I'm ever look up a review for something, and I'm like, please don't tell me anything crucial, don't spoil it, don't spoil it. And then the reviewer in the video is going to go, oh, and that's how she died. And I'm like, you son of a gun, oh man, why'd you do that? Click the video off, get mad, pace back and forth at the red box. Am I going to still get it? Am I still going to get it? I'm still going to get it. Like, but I don't know, maybe you're different, I don't know, I don't want to spoil your fun. You know what I mean? So I try to keep things a little vague and a little, you know, I'll tell you a little bit about the movie, but I don't want to really spoil it. So, and above all, if anyone is like a diehard movie snob or something like that, at times, I may get a fact or a name wrong. So just comment below to let the other viewers know if I missed something or didn't pronounce something right or what have you. So I have to put that because in the last like 2 or 3 videos, like I don't know, somebody commented this or that, and I'm trying to do the most for you guys because, you know, I feel bad in a sense. I probably should take this a little bit more serious and do all my homework and tell you the director and all the actors and all this and all that. But when it comes to this Lego movie, it's already awesome. It's awesome as heck. The voice actors, which, you know, Morgan Freeman, Will Ferrell, and there's more. Great, funny. The storyline doesn't even matter. It's just you're having fun while watching it. All ages can watch this movie. I don't care if you're 90 years old or 9 years old. This movie is great. It's a family movie, funny, and for the adults, there's actually enough on a higher intellect that you can actually comprehend. Because the story is so funny, it's so creative. The storyline is generic and basic for the kids that don't understand a deeper thought of like things like freedom and creativity and a higher being or a higher power or something like that. And so as an adult mind, you pick up on these things. It's like, I'm pretty sure people out there do that. You'll watch like a Pixar movie or something or whatever, and then there'll be a particular adult joke in the movie, and a kid would not get it. Like, you know, something to do with, like, say if they went way out there and they were talking about, you know, conception, all right? A child wouldn't know that word, and, you know, they'll be like, you know, if they're referring to something, then you'll get it because you're an adult. So, and if you're not an adult and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm just a fat head on the video, then yes, don't Google that word. Was that a little innuendo that you may or may not pick up? So, I digress. This movie is freaking awesome. Buy it. Absolutely rent it. Like, smack yourself in the face if you don't rent this. At the very least, rent this. But rent it, buy it. People are going to think I'm bizarre for this one. I'm going to have to give the Lego Movie a solid 9 out of 10. Why not a 10? There was at times where their little stop and go animation, I guess you want to call it, because they actually used Lego pieces, and like the characters would be walking like this, and then they stop frame, record, stop frame, record, and they keep doing that throughout the entire movie. At times, when you're first watching, like the first, I don't know, 20 minutes, you kind of have to, your visuals have to adjust to watching this, because you're not used to watching like robot chicken kind of animation and stuff like that. That's what it reminds me of. So you get that idea, that little stop and go, whatever you want to call that. I'm pretty sure there's a better terminology for that. If you know, comment below. But anyways, let me check the time here. Oh, 15 minutes, Jesus. So, great movie. Highly recommend it. Own it. Buy it. Rent it. Love it. It's you know, I know I didn't talk about the movie enough, and I blurted on about something else, but I had to clear a few things up, so absolutely worth it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah. And go look up that little song, Everything is Awesome, on the Lego soundtrack. That's funny. It'll stick in your head. It's funny.